keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I march until it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward.
I know I've been focusing a lot on Cobra Kai with the recent news that it's ending, as well as Marvel and DC, because there are a lot of exciting things coming out with those three studios. But what I want to talk to you guys about today is some Star Wars news. We had the Mandalorian stuff. I have a couple theory videos for that I'm still working on for you guys, which is exciting. But what we got to talk about is, so I'm going to probably be going to Galaxy's Edge this weekend. So I have more Star Wars content for you guys and Disney content in general over the weekend, which will be great. Before I go on my trip, there's something I want to talk to you guys about. This is a very big video for me, okay? So what I would like for you to do is, let's talk about this for a moment, okay? And what we're going to talk about is, let's talk about how I think I solved, well, I can't solve the entire reason behind Star Wars movies, the newer movies not being as good as the prequel trilogy or even some of the other original movies. I have come up with a way to make the newer movies better, at least in terms of their combat. So if you look at the sequel trilogy, it's a lot of people just swinging their sabers at each other and doing force moves, and that's cool when executed right. But there's no real creative vision anymore. When George Lucas did lightsaber fights in the prequels, there was acrobatics to it. There was flippy flips, kicks, moves. It feels, lightsaber wielding is an art, much like martial arts. These forms are based on real techniques. So therefore, you have to think that they'd have other hand-to-hand combat action as well. So that's what this video is about today. Today we're going to talk about hand-to-hand combat in Star Wars and why we need to see more of it. We see some of it in the Clone Wars, we see some of it in the Mandalorian, and we see some of it with characters like Darth Maul. So we're going to talk about the most important form of Star Wars hand-to-hand combat. So I have looked at the books, and I've looked into these animated shows as well. So one of the most proficient Star Wars martial arts is known as Teras Kasi. And Teras Kasi is most known for being a style that Darth Maul used. But the main purpose of Teras Kasi was so people could fight force wielders. And I think it'd be important to have more Star Wars characters utilize this technique while fighting force wielders, even if they wield the force themselves. I think Jedi should utilize this ability, because sometimes Jedi get in the jam when they don't have their lightsabers and they can't defend themselves with the force. It might be too messy. But hand-to-hand combat, blending that with their force abilities would be really cool. Like, you think of a force pull, then they put a punch in there. You think of a force push, maybe it's a force push kick. Like, I think there's so many cool ways they could implement this into Star Wars and how it should work. And I really think this is something we need to see more of. Like Darth Maul, there's not been a character like Darth Maul for years. Kylo Ren didn't cut it. There hasn't been new Sith that are interesting enough. One of the things that made Darth Maul such a cool character is people were loving his double-bladed staff. His staff was based off a bow staff, so he could take two opponents on at the same time. And then as he's doing the bow staff, he can throw kicks as well. Which was a very awesome moment in his style. And if you look at his work in the Clone Wars with animation, they were able to blend that perfectly with his moveset. And that was so cool. And the Mandalorian fights with his vibroblade, but he's still slamming on people with his fists. He's still doing cool techniques like... I think hand-to-hand combat in more Star Wars is definitely needed. And now, guys, at the end of this video, we're going to look at some examples of that. So we're going to go over some fights from Clone Wars about how Darth Maul has just, and other characters, have used their hand-to-hand combat sequences very well. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you guys have a great day, and may the Force be with you. And what fighting style in Star Wars would you like to see used in the future of Star Wars in live action? I'm dying to hear your take. This one for me is all about Terrace Kasi. I will cover other Star Wars fighting styles if you'd like to see them. Let me know in the comments below, and have a great day.
And just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward.